Hello everyone, I am Gungun Agrawal and currently I am pursuing my bachelor's degree in Computer Science and Information Technology from Agrawal Institute of Technology and Research, Indore. So in this video, we will discuss about the Armstrong axioms, or we can say that the inference rules. Now let's start with the definition of Armstrong axioms rule. So these rules are given by the Armstrong. So these are known as the Armstrong axioms or inference rules. Using these rules, we can determine all the functional dependencies exist in our relation or in our table. So to determine or find this functional dependency, we use axioms rule. So basically there are total 7 axioms rules, in which 3 are primary rules and 4 are secondary rules. First one is reflexive rule. Any attribute or set of attribute that determines itself, or we can say that A determines B and B is a subset of A, is called reflexive. Let us take an example of the address of a house which contains so many parameters like house number, street number, city, etc. This all are the subsets of the address. Thus, address determines house number, or we can say that the address determines address. Second one is augmentation. Augmentation is also known as the partial dependency. According to this rule, if A logically determines B, then adding any extra attribute does not change the basic functional dependency. For example, in a student database, if student ID determines student name, then it also implies that student ID and course determines student name and course name. Third one is transitive rule. Transitive rule states that if A determines B and B determines C, then it can be said that A indirectly determines C, or we can say that there is a transitive dependency between A and C. Fourth rule, which is known as the union rule. A union rule states that if student determine faculty and student determine course, then student can also determine faculty and course. For example, if A determine B and A determine C, then A also determine BC. Fifth rule is decomposition rule. Decomposition rule is also known as the project rule. It is the reverse of the union rule. According to this rule, if a student determines faculty, course, then it can be decomposed as student determines faculty and student determines course. Or we can say that this rule is just reverse of the union rule. Sixth rule is our last rule, which is the pseudo-transitive rule. Pseudo-transitive rule is like a detective that helps us finding hidden connection between the data. For example, if A determines B and BC determines D, then AC determines D. Thank you.